gonna start out with my number one, and I think this should be number one. Will Muschamp. William Muschamp. It would be such a home run hire if Miami was able to go and grab William Muschamp. What he's doing on that defensive side of the ball. Yes, I get that he is a 3-4 base, and a lot of people, Mark, because of what Mark Diafrano did to us on the 3-4 side, where it was more of a pure zone, off the ball, being preventive in your approach. A lot of people get butthurt with the 3-4. They don't understand some of your favorite teams that you like to watch on championship Sunday, Saturday, they run a 3-4. Georgia, 3-4. Alabama, 3-4. Ohio State, multiple. You know what I mean? There are multiple, but they are a 3-4 and nickel base in their approach. So the best of the you talk about Oklahoma, they're a 3-3 stack. They're not a 3-4. They're a 3-3 stack. So this 3 down front thing, it allows you to have more people off the ball so that they can see what is happening in front of them. Meaning that schematically we're able to react to things more if we're on our feet as opposed to hand in the dirt and being able to take a step and then react. Okay. When I get that locally we run a 4-3 locally in South Florida. Everyone runs a 4-3 except for Miami Northwestern. They run a 3-3 stack, and they're also one of the historic programs. But when it comes to that scheme, it's a lot easier to react to things again when you're on your feet and you're reading the offense and you're being able because in a 3-4, everyone thinks that everyone's cramped up on the line of scrimmage and now you only have 4 DBs back there for people to attack. That's not how it works. You're gonna have an edge player and you're gonna have an outside linebacker in that 3-4 scheme, especially if you're talking about the Will Muschamp scheme. What I mean. Should I do it, Mark? Should I explain to him?
Love
Should
this.
we explain to him what I mean? All right. I got to get something to get this off of here. All right. Let's explain what the 3-4 scheme is. Got to pull out the whiteboard on the Mark. So,
love it.
The traditional 3-4 has this look, right? And linebacker here. It looks more like a 50 front, right? So you see, do I need to go? Can you see that? Okay. That's what a traditional 3-4 looks like. You got 2 4-eye techniques, and then you got 2 linebackers outside of their offensive tackles as edge rushers, right?
Yep.
What a lot of people don't understand here is that is an old school approach. What you see nowadays is more of your traditional look of a 4-3. Okay, where that end now is in a 3 technique. Okay, where he's able to attack the outside shoulder of that guard as opposed to sit there and hold down the B gap. Okay, and then you have an edge rush linebacker that's standing over there who's going to rush the passer as a true defensive end approach. And this backer over here is going to be off the ball reading the play. Okay. So it's not just a 50 front look where it's a big run stop look. It's about being able to see everything in front of you and be able to get there. So that's where Will Muschamp and guys like Kirby Smart and guys like Coach Saban. Then you have to understand football is very multiple nowadays. So whether you're a 3-4 or 4-3 or 4-2-5 base defense, you're going to play a whole bunch of spread teams anyway. So you're going to be inside of your 4-2-5, inside of your dime, inside of your nickel defenses at a higher percentage than normally anyway. So doesn't really matter what our base is and continue. Get out your mind the Vince Wilfork nose guard. That doesn't happen anymore. The Terrence Cody and the Haluti Nata nose guards. That's not how things are played nowadays. Those guys will be just as tall, but they'll be 6'6", 301, 6'6", 310. Okay. And with what we have on this front right now, you have a guy like a Jordan Miller coming back, who's your 325-pound guy who can hold down the one gap, while you have someone like a Leonard Taylor and a Harrison Hunt. And this way, we'd be able to have both of those guys on the field at the same time. Mark, then you could get like a guy like a Jafari Harvey, where he could stand up and rush the passer. Sam Brooks can go over to outside linebacker and do what made him the four-star outside linebacker at Miami Northwestern, where he stands up in a two-point stance and rushes the passer. Okay, a Chance Williams, guys like that. So I think going to the 3-4 wouldn't be the worst thing for Miami. There's a chance that it could work, but we would also have to kind of revamp the roster a little bit. So I do understand people's iffiness with that. So I'll go over to my next defensive coordinator. Jimmy Lake, recently let go over at Washington. There, we wouldn't have to do that. He runs a 4.25. We have recruited and coached to the 4.25 for the last 3.5, 4 seasons. So he would be able to come and basically kind of perfect the 4.25 on a different level. So I can see that being a very easy transition. Also, as much as I love Will Muschamp, if we were to go with like the pure spread approach, I would say go after Jimmy Lake, because I think you would want to have that 4.25 where he teaches the defense from the back end forward, because Jimmy Lake is a defensive backs guy first. You would want that as to be the focus of your team, because if we're going to be airing it out and passing and want to score points on the offensive side of the ball, you're going to need a defense that can compel that. So number one, it creates great competition in practice. And number two, when you're in a shootout, you'll be able to go toe to toe because you have that kind of mindset on defense. So that's where we are with that one. And then another one, Todd Orlando, also doesn't have a job, let go out of USC. He's a very well-respected coach in the coaching realm, as far as he's one of those, you know, guru guys. He's not the best on the football field. You can call a spade a spade. He's had some really rough times as the chief defensive coordinator at Texas and at USC. So that's why he comes in at third for me, based on his history. But 1A and 1B for me would be Will Muschamp or Jimmy Lake for defensive coordinators.